Alright everybody, let's continue on with Danganronpa another. I think we're at the trial now. Are we? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna view the truth bullets and then read up on this stuff that I missed out before. Yeah. So I'm gonna skip this part. Alrighty then, we're done. So let's begin the class trial. Trial. All rise. Come on. Let us begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out the culprit, only they will receive punishment, but if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone else besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. One of us is the killer, the culprit who murdered Kyoka? Of course. No way, I have to be in the same place as a real murderer? I can't do that, and yet here you are. I know it's hard, but it's a must. We need to uncover the truth behind this case. And ultimately, reveal the culprit's identity. Wait, hold on. What's that? That picture of Kyoka. Wouldn't it be awful if she got left out just because she died? That's the wrong spelling of because. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Lol. Hey, let me ask you something just in case. It's crucial that we know this for the trial. This is really important, so prepare to answer, dumbass. Can there be accomplices in the case? That will determine the entire course of our discussion. Really important? Why, sure, I can tell you that. Now, accomplices in murder may exist. However, no matter how many accomplices there are, only the one who committed murder graduates. I see. There would be no merit for the accomplice. Kakeru, he really looks like a different person. That'll do for the preamble. Let's get started then. First up is the case summary. Now let the debate begin. The class trial. When Monokuma first mentioned it in the gym, I thought none of us would commit murder. The class trial would never happen. That's why I didn't think too deep about this. But it really started. The trial to find Kyoka's killer. If we fail to reveal the culprit in this trial, we'll be... No, I can't let that happen. I have to do this, not only for me, but for everyone else too. To find out what really happened, and to reach the ultimate truth. I must do this with all my might. Get him. A non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Sure, why not? You need to be on the lookout for contradictions. Yeah, I know that. Fire truth bullet by moving the red crosshair. I know that. So the truth bullets taken from the list. I know that. Press shift to change the selected bullet. Okay. Shift. Need to stay but fire truth bullet. At the wrong place will deplete your influence gauge. Deplete. Result in game over. Please be careful. You may skip through lines by pressing arrow in the bottom right. Arrow in the bottom right. The arrow. The right button, right? What do you mean bottom right? Just say the right arrow. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Oh god. Alrighty then. Let us start with the basic. Kyoka was the victim. Yeah, that is true. She was her classmate and friend, brutally murdered this very morning. Oh, you mean this? Should I press that? Miss Maki, she was discovered in the girl's restroom hanged by her neck, the crosshairs moving on its own. But who could have done such a terrible thing? The murderer, of course. Look, you see, I still can't quite believe that a real murder happened here. Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. Kyoka hanged herself and died by choking. How is that a murder? It's not. Well, it certainly looks like a suicide at first sight. Puri. There was a rope around Kyoka's neck, but that wasn't her cause of death. It was even specified by that file. That'll prove Kyoka didn't kill herself. So, what? It depleted? Even though I just wanted to see what the statements were? That sucks. That's awful. Can I restart this? That's so awful, man. This is terrible. I was hoping to get perfect monocoins and shit. This is so awful. So you mean to tell me I can't read through all of the statements? That's awful. This is terrible. Agility, 30 point though. Miss. Focus. 95? God damn it. That's wrong, Churio. Kyoka didn't choke to death. She didn't choke to death? Then how'd you explain the rope around her neck? The Monokuma file. Didn't you read it? It clearly states Kyoka's cause of death. Look, it says here. The victim is Kyoka Maki. The estimated time of death is around 6 a.m. The body was discovered hanging in the girls' restroom of the student dormitory. The cause of death is a contusion to the occiput. I don't know how it's pronounced. There seems to have been excessive blood lost from the wound. See, according to the file, Kyoka didn't die due to choking. Her real cause of death is the contusion to her something. The back of her head, yeah. Contusion to the back of the head. Yeah, but can we really trust that thing? I don't know if I can really trust something from that old jerk Monokuma. What? Are you questioning my credibility? Oh, kids these days, they just love to judge a file by its cover. Listen, I do not tell any lies regarding the trial. I believe in a fair trial more than anyone else. Don't worry, Mr. Hattori, I can back up the credibility of the information. Almost everything on the Monokuma file is true. I'll guarantee you as a physician. You're a surgeon though. So if Kyoka died from a contusion on the back of her head, someone must have hit her head from the back, right? Yeah. Okay, she didn't kill herself and another person killed her. Then I guess this really is murder. Well, duh, don't reckon that it's suicide just because you're too lazy to go through the trial. Our lives are at stake here. Let us not waste our energy in pointless insults. It's already stated in the Monokuma file, but to add on my personal commentary, Kyoka's injury was very severe. The strike went through her skull and made a large depression on her head. Inferring from this, she probably died an instant death. Well, that's one way to look positive at things. What a devastating incident. She didn't suffer as much though, so this should not have happened. We can put those commentaries aside and talk about what actually matters. If the injury was that severe, a hard object must have been used to strike her head. The murder weapon, you mean? I expected someone would bring that up around this time. Now, won't us all talk about the weapon used to deliver the fatal blow to Kyoka? If Kyoka didn't kill herself, a blunt object other than the rope must have been used as a weapon. Let's delve into that some more. The murder weapon that struck Kyoka's head, we need to find out what it was. It's probably the thingy. You know, that one thing. Bloody hammer, yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. God. The culprit must have hit her head with a blunt object. That is true. That is true. That should be the weapon. Yep. Thanks for pointing out the obvious. What kind of object is the weapon? A murder weapon. The strike on Kyoka's head was clearly deep enough to create a depression on her skull. Like a hammer. Perhaps a long object like a bat or a stick. Yep. That's it, a bloody hammer. What? I want 100 points. Can't go through every... Agility 75? Are you sure? God damn, this fucking game is brutal with its score shit. Yeah, but that can't be right. In fact, I discovered this from the dormitory's garbage dump. Is that? Exactly. It's a hammer. A small one you can easily hold with one hand. Is that what the culprit used to attack Kyoka? It apparently has blood on it, so it must be the weapon. The fact it was found at the garbage dump indicates that the culprit attempted to get rid of it. How'd you even find it at the dump? But can that tiny hammer really kill a person? Wanna try if you're curious? No thanks, I'm fine. Regardless of the size, a hammer is made of metal. With enough force at the right angle, killing a person in a single blow is not entirely impossible. To sum up, the culprit murdered Kyoka once with a hammer strike from the back, then hanged her. But isn't it strange? If the killer just wanted to murder Kyoka, then why did they hang the body? Even if it was to cover up her real cause of death, the bruise and the bloodstains are still there. You can see that it's murder right away. You can? I thought it was suicide before Yuki told us. That's because you're a helpless idiot. Miss Maggie's body didn't look typical of people who hang themselves in the first place. Too unnatural if it was meant to be framed as a suicide. Yeah. Too unnatural? Yeah, it did look slightly different from a typical suicide by hanging. It looked unnatural because, let's see, the rope was too loose, Kyoko wasn't hanging in the air, there was a bruise on the head. The rope was too loose, Kyoko wasn't hanging in the air. Was it because Kyoko wasn't hanging in the air? Yeah. Yep. Cool. Did it. Kanata, do you mean the body looked unnatural because it wasn't hanging in the air despite the rope being tied on her? Yeah, that is correct. Don't you think so? Oi, I got zero ideas about all this. Idiot, you don't know how people die from hanging? They usually tie a rope in the air, stand on a chair or a similar object and kick it off as they hang themselves. That way, there's nothing to step on and eventually they are choked by gravity to death. Oh, I get it. If Kyoko committed suicide, her body has to hang down in the air. But Kyoko's body was down on the floor even with the rope hung around her neck. This must be the point. It sure is weird. Why did the culprit hang Kyoko's body then? It's simple. There are two possible explanations. The culprit either had a reason to do it, or was swear to God stupid. The culprit is stupid? Would that mean Haro is the culprit? Hey, she said the culprit is stupid, not that a stupid person is the culprit. He didn't deny that he's stupid. Anyway, there's no way the culprit hanged her without thinking. There has to be a reason. What is that reason that this had to happen? To talk about that, we have to discuss about the culprit first. There's no need to repeat that. Revealing the identity of the culprit is the ultimate object of this trial after all. So let's discuss about the culprit like Tsurugi said. But who is the real killer? I have no idea. Me neither. How could there be a murderer among us? I can't even imagine who. Hey, didn't we already narrow it down to have to be honest? What makes you say that? Duh, use your brain. Kyoko's body was found in the girls' restroom and hanged by a rope. Then shouldn't the killer be one of the girls? There's a point. What? I mean, you can't enter the girls' room if you're a male, so... You're gonna get shot. Hey, he has a point. You too. On your head. Exactly. For example, Kizuna could be the killer. She didn't speak up once since the beginning of the trial. Or Miss Dark Circles over there. Huh? One of them's a culprit. That's nonsense. I have no reason to commit murder. Then why are you so quiet? It sounds suspicious. Dark Circles was always like that, but not you. Shut up. I'm just trying to avoid talking with dirty killers. Mr. Mori, please don't call us killers. There's only one culprit. Monokuma said accomplices have no merit. Don't view us like that. Hell no. Kyoko's already dead. It can be anyone next time. I can't die here. Do you know that unnecessary overreaction makes you look even more suspicious? Shut up, Higa. How dare you spit out nonsense? The killer's a girl, because the body was in the girl's restroom. It's not like we have rules here. Guys can certainly enter it too. Kizuna, you sound like a different person today. Why are you calling him by your last name? Well, I guess your mask slipped. It's impossible for a man to enter the women's restroom. That might have been a possibility in the real world, but this place has a rule that forbids it. Am I right, Monokuma? Bingo! A man entering the women's restroom is considered a form of indecency and will be punished by a shower of bullets from the machine guns. The same goes for the opposite case. This applies to not only the restrooms, but also the locker rooms and bathhouses that will be unlocked soon. Let's bear that in mind. It's true. Monokuma warned us when we found Kyoka's body and tried to step in. Come on, it's a matter of common sense that guys can never commit murder in the girls' restroom. It wasn't me. Why would I, of all people, commit murder? I'm not a criminal. If anyone is, it's that creepy bitch. Gonna say anything? If Mitsuru is right, that means the culprit is either Akane, Mikaro, Kanata, Ayami, Kizuna, Satsuki, or Mikako. No, I'm not a culprit. Satsuki never ever killed anyone. Yeah, if the killer is one of the girls, who else can it be besides her? Don't you agree, Rei Mikaru? Huh, what's she even talking about? Don't pull my leg. Weren't you late when the body was discovered? Everyone was there except for you. If you're not the culprit, why did you come late? Is that all you have? I told you back then I was late because I was investigating at the main entrance. Nobody believes you. You have no evidence. Well, surely. She was a bit suspicious. I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, but you did come late. Mikharu, can you prove what you said? If you need proof for something as simple as this, it would be better for you to die here, airhead. Try to back out. Gotcha. You found the answer. This bitch is the killer. Hold on, I suggest that we think about this some more. Let's see. Coming late to the scene is sure to draw suspicion, but would it also mean that Mikaro is the culprit? No, that's impossible. I know that Mikaro really was at the entrance hall to investigate. There was evidence pointing to her innocence. It was... Where is it? The account. There you go. Kagura testified to have met Mikaro heading toward the school wing. Yeah. Hold on, Mikaro is innocent. She really was at the entrance to investigate at the time. Huh? How can you be so sure? Did you see it yourself? No, but... Kakeru, you know it, right? Mikaro's innocence? Ha! You said it, Yuki. Listen up, fellas. Rei Mikaro is innocent. I, Kakeru Yamaguchi, am the witness. Mr. Yamaguchi, is there something you know about this? I woke up around 6 a.m. with an urge to go to the restroom. As I was heading there, I encountered Mikaro. She said she was going to investigate the school wing and walked away. The next time I saw her was after the murder occurred. Which means Mikaro is innocent. Did you get what he's saying? Sasuke sees the logic but can't understand the thing because of all that shouting. Basically, he saw Mikaro heading toward the school in the morning, which proves Mikaro's claim. Wait, but the body discovery announcement was at 8. There's 2 hours in between the time you saw her and the murder. 2 whole hours. How does that prove her innocence? Kizuna, think about the time again. It's true that Mikaro didn't show up until after we found the body, but Kyoka's estimated time of death was 6 a.m. In other words, it's impossible for Mikaro to have murdered Kyoka since she went to the school wing at 6. Sure, she could have turned back as soon as Kakeru went back into his room, but there wouldn't be enough time for her to hang Kyoka's body or throw away the hammer. This is the reason why I'm saying Mikaro is innocent. What? Oh, right. Some kind of debate argument stuff. Wrong, that's not enough to say she's innocent. Why? We even have a witness, Kakeru. Now there's a hole in your argument. I'm sorry, you, but I've got to make this rebuttal. Alright, the rebuttal thingy. That's the only way to make that 4 eyes admit her crime and end this stupid trial. What is the controls of these again? Battle Showdown, yeah. Battle Showdown 1-on-1. Press confirm / yeah, there's a space bar, right? You can refute text marked in yellow by pressing shift. Refute text marked in yellow by pressing shift. Switch truth blade with the left and right arrow keys. Use the right truth blade at the right contradiction. Right and left, okay. Shift key will work at non-yellow text and press confirm will / Careful though, since not all arguments will go down with a single slash. Influence gauge will take damage. Just a little more, if you have 0 focus, your influence gauge will take damage instead. Okay. Let's see. Clean body. Kyoka died 6 a.m. Yeah, Kakuro met around 6 a.m. Who said you had to murder some random fight that person? You could have killed her remotely. Oh shit, I missed. Oh wait, I did it? Cool. Yay. Remotely, yeah. Clean body though. 50? 50? Oh cool, 100, nice. Kizuna, it's impossible to kill Kyoka remotely. How come? I told you. Well, technically it's possible, but it's not the answer for this case. And it's because her body was too clean. The body was too clean? Remember how Kyoka's body looked like? Kyoka's head did have a large bruise and was all sticky with blood. But that was it. The blood under her hair didn't even flow very far. Her clothes were clean too. Isn't it strange? A bruise that's severe enough to create a dent on her head and not a single drop of blood got on her clothes? There's only one reason for this. The killer wiped up the blood at the same time Kyoka died? Yeah, I agree with Yuki. I was wondering the same thing while I examined the body. Why did you say anything? But can you stop bleeding from a wound that big just by wiping it a few times? My nosebleeds never stopped that easily when I tried to wipe them off. It doesn't take long for blood to coagulate in room temperature. I don't know how to pronounce. A nosebleed is from an injury inside the nose, but Miss Mackie's bruise was directly exposed to the air. About 5 minutes of pressure would have been enough to stop her bleeding. That kind of wound, but okay. And Miss Mackie likely died an instant death, so the actual amount of bleeding might not have been much due to the lack of circulation. But if the culprit wiped it off as soon as Kyoka died... Right, if the culprit killed Kyoka remotely from a distance like Kizuna suggested, Kyoka's body would be covered with blood by the time they go to wipe it off. Also, they'd have to risk the blood getting on her clothes when there's no way to wash it off. What do you think, Kizuna? Anything left for you to say? Why? Why are you siding with Four Eyes? I wasn't really siding with Mikaro. Sure, why would you stand up for me in the first place? I don't care what you think of me, but don't use it to justify framing someone else in a trial. If we choose the wrong person based off of your petty emotions, everyone here is going to die. Did you still not understand the rule of this place? Fine, do whatever you want. Yeah, then is Mikaro fully proven innocent? Is everyone clear on that? Why are we suddenly talking about Mikaro though? If I remember correctly, she faced her suspicion after Mitsuhiro said the killer was among the girls. Mikaro, we apologize for suspecting you. Shrug it off. No matter how much you contempt and disdain me, I don't give a damn. Mikaro, she has the guts. Then we can safely assume that Mikaro and Kakeru have an alibi. Well, we already crossed out Kakeru. Didn't you say the killer is a girl? Hold on, even if Four Eyes is innocent, I'm not gonna take that. The killer cannot be a girl. But there's no other possibility. The killer had to be able to enter the girls' restroom. Who else other than the girls can enter the girls' restroom? And why are you being so fussy if you're not the culprit? You feeling guilty or something? Told you, I'm not the killer. I mean, it's just not fair. You can't assume me as the killer just because I'm a girl. And you don't even have solid reasoning. Oh come on, if the rule that boys cannot enter the girls' restroom is not an acceptable reason, then what is? The culprit is a girl. But is it really like that? This isn't good, we can't reach an agreement if we keep fighting. Ultimate Leader, we're waiting for you to come up with a plan. There's no need. In fact, I'd highly encourage this sort of debate. Huh? I see the current situation as a perfect chance for all of us to understand the culprit's strategy. What do you mean? Everyone's just fighting each other right now. Think about why you were led to believe that the culprit is a woman. If you can figure that out, you'll be able to reach the answer from there on. Why did we come to think that the culprit is a girl? The body was in the girl's restroom for sure. Then is the culprit a girl just like Mitch said? I think we're still missing something critical. I have to point that out. Debate. Laundry room bloodstain, okay. The culprit is definitely one of the girls. I said I'm not gonna take it. She's not gonna take it. I must say that the body was indeed discovered inside the women's restroom. We didn't kill anyone. Calm down. Well, the body was found in the women's restroom. You must consider the murder, the hanging occurred separately from one another. But the murder still happened in the girls' restroom, right? The culprit murdered Kyoka inside the restroom. Yeah, I think that's it. Murdered Kyoka in the restroom, but there's like laundry room bloodstain. So why? 50, 30, 40? What the fuck? Why? I was fast as fuck. Miss 30? Why did I miss? I don't get this scoring shit. This is awful. The scoring here is awful. No, Harold, that's not true. Not true? What's not true? We've been missing something critical. I'll cut to the chase. The culprit can certainly be a guy too. What are you talking about? Guys couldn't go in the girls' restroom. How do you commit murder at a place you can't even enter? That doesn't matter. All this time we thought the murder occurred in the girls' restroom since that's where the body was found. But where the murder actually happened was a totally different location. Huh? What you mean? The body was at the girls' restroom. Oh, I get it. Looks like everyone finally got it. That reminds me, the Monokuma file only stated where the body was discovered, not the place where the actual murder occurred. A critical point indeed. You weren't paying attention to the real deal while being distracted by superficial things. You should have seen it at your first glance. Wait, hold on. If Kyoko wasn't murdered in the girls' restroom, if the culprit killed her in another place, then moved the body to the restroom, those could all be done by someone who's not a girl. Come to think of it, Kyoko's body was quite close to the restroom entrance. Then was Kyoko murdered somewhere else? How did you reach that conclusion, Yuki? I bet you had some kind of supporting evidence. Yeah, in fact, I found a puddle of blood in the laundry room. The laundry room? That place sounds so irrelevant. The blood stain says everything. Kyoka Maki was murdered in the laundry room. The laundry room? Yep. I have seen Miss Maki there a few times, but her time of death. Why did she go to the laundry room at 6 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, I know she was an early bird, but I don't think she would get up there early. The reason Kyoka headed to the laundry room. Didn't I find something that can answer that question? Yeah. What was it? I think it's coming to my mind. That clue was... torn note. Everyone, can you look at this for a second? What's that? I found this from Kyoka's body. It looks like a scrap piece of paper from the notepad Monokuma gave us. Kyoka was holding it tight in her hand. Would you like me to read what it says? Come to the laundry room at 6. There something can be waiting. It's all raggy and torn. Take a closer look. It clearly mentions that place in the parts that we can read. I see, the laundry room. Moreover, the words that really matter are still intact despite the missing parts. From the parts that are left, I think the full message was... So come to the laundry room at 6. There aren't any cameras there. I'll be waiting. Something like that. That was so sick, Tsurugi. You completed the note just from its parts. It's my speculation, so I can't assure that it's completely identical to the original sentence. But it should be the same overall. Is it ripped because the culprit tried to pull it out by force? I believe so. Maybe the culprit wasn't able to remove the whole paper from Miss Maki's hand due to rigor mortis. That means Kyoka got that note from someone and went to the laundry room at the designated time without knowing what's about to happen. Shoot, why would anyone use those kinds of cheap tricks? Huh? Sasuke's confused on the part that says there aren't any cameras. Perhaps it was intended to make the note look like some sort of secret talk? Nope, that's not what Sasuke meant. Are there really no cameras in the laundry room? There is. Whoa, what a surprise, you can talk? Between the ventilator and the clothesline. Yeah, I saw it too. The culprit just wrote down meaningless nonsense as bait. Kyoka, just why? I apologize for the untimely interruption, but may I speak for a moment? Huh? Kinji, what is it? Kyoka was murdered in the laundry room. Although we cannot be certain about this statement, is it not too early to conclude that a man could be the culprit as well? Huh? While it is possible for a man to commit murder in the laundry room and carry the body to the restroom, recall the fact that Kyoka was not merely lying on the restroom floor. She was hanged by a rope attached to the ceiling. Have we forgotten this already? Oh, you're right. The murder could be done somewhere else, but you have to enter the restroom to connect a rope to the ceiling. So the culprit is really a girl then? What, are we back to where we started? Seriously, guys, you want to think the culprit is a girl that bad? No, but Kinji is not wrong. It's impossible to tie a rope to a pipeline inside the restroom unless you are inside as well. See, the killer is one of the girls. Wait, it's too early to make that conclusion. Could there be a way to hang the body from the outside? If Kinji is right, the killer cannot be a guy. But if there's no way to refute that logic, I have to come up with that, even if the chances are less than 1%. This isn't a drill. A single mistake could kill all of us. If we put our heads together, we'll be able to find the answer. So what truth bullets do we have? Oh, hook, right. I remember that part. A way to hang the body from the outside. Yeah, the hook. Is that really possible? Yeah, it's a hook. What tool could you use a tool for it? What if the culprit used a tool? Yep, a hook. 50-05? Still 80 points? What the fuck? How do they come to the fucking conclusion like this? Whoever did the scoring sucks. You suck at programming, holy shit. That's it, you can use a tool. A tool? But how? I almost forgot, the tool that was tied to the rope. It's right there, do you see it? Looks like a hook to me. A hook? The rope had something like that? I'm sorry to get impressed by the extent of you guys' stupidity. But you just made a good point this time. You're right, looks like you got it correct. Thanks. So what about the hook? The culprit must have thrown this hook with the rope attached to connect it to the pipe on the ceiling. That way the rope is all set. Afterwards, they can tie the other end to Kyoko's deck and push her body inside. Would that be possible to do without actually entering the women's restroom? Yeah, it is. This is our answer. Hold on, look how the rope is tied to the pipe. It's been twined several times around the pipe. Is it possible to do that with the heavy-looking hook on the rope? Oh, he's right. It's fastened by the hook, but the rope went around several times. I know it's nearly impossible to tie a rope like that when there's a hook attached. What the? You said it like it's possible. That's why the culprit used another tool to secure the rope onto the pipe. Another tool? What is that another tool? Seems like Mikaru is the only one who realized what it is. Well, can you tell us, Mikaru? Like hell I realized, I knew it from the very beginning. And if you're trying to sound me out, quit it. I already said that I have no plans to offer any help. Besides, it looks like Useless over there got hold of it anyway. Why don't you ask him? What, me? Yuki, can you tell us the answer? Well, it's... Oh, you didn't? Sorry about that. I guess that question was too hard for your non-functional brain. I won't forgive myself if I don't give an answer after hearing that. In fact, I'm sure that I can. I found that object during investigation, didn't I? A tool that the hook was used to secure the rope from the outside. That tool was... Where is it? There you go. Burst rubber ball. Good, and one more thing. There was a key piece of evidence that could prove this tool's involvement in crime. Key piece of evidence that involved the body. There you go. Rubber smelling liquid. Korideo. I got it. I figured out the other tool used by the culprit. It's the rubber ball. Rubber ball? What's a rubber ball? It's a ball made of rubber. It's like a bouncy ball. Have you ever played with them when you were young? It's full of some kind of viscous liquid. It makes it bounce back up when it hits the floor. Oh, I know. I made some improvements to it and sold it overseas under the name Hyperball. Did I tell y'all that it still be selling great? How is it relevant to the case? You better tell us quick, Yuki. Okay, I figured out the way the rubber ball was used in the murder just now. After Tsurugi said the culprit used another tool to set the rope in place, try to relate the act of winding the rope with the circumstances of the murder. I think we can be certain about the culprit using a hook since he found one on the pipe. But as Mitch pointed out, it's impossible to wind the rope like that with the hook alone, so how did they remove the ball? Putting the hook after setting up the rope wasn't a choice either, because there's no way to get the rope around the pipe itself. Besides, they'd have to step inside to attach the hook. That's why the culprit used the rubber ball. Before using the hook, the culprit tied the rope around the rubber ball. Then they threw it inside the restroom, between the pipe and the ceiling to be more exact. Oh, that way. That way, the ball would hit the wall and bounce back toward where it started. If you repeat this multiple times, you get the rope around the pipe with the ball returning to the entrance every time. All left is to remove the ball inside a hook to throw it on the pipe. Oh, I see. But the culprit probably faced something that wasn't part of their plan here. The rubber ball burst because of the pressure from rebounding off the wall. It spilled its contents all over the wall and the floor, which is still left at the scene. This is how the culprit tied the rope without going inside the girls' restroom. The hook and the rubber ball were used to make it look like it was done from the inside. Oh, that must have been the sticky liquid on the wall. Well said, Yuki. I agree with you. Well, if our ultimate police officer says so, I guess he's right. Everyone, did you notice something after getting to this point? Not notice? What? Think closely. We were talking about the possibility of a man being the culprit. But don't you think it should be the opposite after going through all this? Opposite? My explanation involving the hook and the ball, it was to prove that it's possible for a guy to be the culprit. But if the opposite of that is true, that means the culprit is Monokuma. Oh no, the culprit is a man. That's right, we were going in the opposite direction ever since. Opposite direction? What are you talking about? We thought that the culprit was a girl, so we thought of a way to hang Kyoka from outside the restroom based on the assumption, what if a guy could be the culprit as well? It turns out that wasn't the case. It's very unlikely that the culprit is among the girls. The culprit is definitely a man. What? It wasn't me? Hey, how so? Why is it suddenly like that? Think about what we just went through. The culprit undoubtedly used the hook and rubber ball to connect the rope to the ceiling. Now, suppose the culprit was a woman. Would there be a reason for her to use such complicated measures when she could have simply stepped inside and tied the rope directly? That makes sense. It looks like the culprit had to do it without going inside the restroom. Furthermore, even if the culprit was a woman and had to use the hook or rubber ball for some reason, they would have been able to clean the stain on the wall afterwards. Right, as I mentioned before, the culprit probably didn't expect the rubber ball to burst. To clean the liquid off the wall, they needed to get inside the restroom. But they couldn't, because guys can't enter the girls' restroom. The only thing that's weird about this to me is Kyoka's body was still able to hang. The body was hanging and stuff, because you need some kind of force, like pulling on the rope first and then kicking the rope in order for it to go in and out until it finally wraps around the pipe, which is like, how do you do that? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Can't say it with absolute certainty, but it's the most reasonable explanation we can think of. There would be no reason for the culprit to intentionally leave traces in the murder scene. I mean, the liquid stain on the wall was a big hint for figuring out how the ball was used by the culprit. Aha! That automatically gives us girls an alibi, right? Plus, even better. Yuki, Teruya, Haruhiko, Mitsuhiro, Tsurugi, Kinji, and Kakeru. Who's Kinji? Is it Kinjo? I don't remember. We know one of them's got to be it. Oh, Tsurugi Kinjo. Oh, I was thinking something else. Hold on, what if the culprit was a woman and tried to make us think this way all along? I highly doubt it. The reason the culprit hanged Kyoka in the first place was to make us think that a woman did it. So it had nothing to do with disguising it as a suicide from the start. Indeed, everything was led just to thinking that a woman is the culprit. In other words, the culprit wanted us to think that way. So they wouldn't become a suspect. All because the culprit himself was a man. Everything's connected now. I found it strange to find the rope and Miss Mackey's neck being too loose. In retrospect, I see that was the case because the culprit didn't intend to make it look like a suicide at all. I can't believe it took this long for you to reach that point. Well, excuse me, princess. What's up with you talking like you already knew all of this stuff? Because I already knew? What? I already have everything worked out. Who the culprit is, why they killed, anything you could possibly think of. Eh? What? And you just stood there in silence when you had all the answers? How many times will I have to repeat this? I have absolutely no reason to help you out, except for the part that if you don't solve the case, everyone's going to die. That's reason enough, don't you think? Mekaru, this isn't a competition. If you don't share what you know and we end up voting for the wrong person, you're going to die too. Of course, I'll share my knowledge when it gets to that. But even without me, you still have Tsurugi Kinjo over there to help you. And you, sis, you're getting pretty close to the truth too. I was actually surprised. Perhaps you weren't completely useless after all, monkey. Monkey? Well, that's a definite upgrade. Geez, she's a real smug. Well, she's always been like that. You should ignore what she says and keep moving on. Sure, I believe we left off from saying the culprit is a man. Haha, I wonder who it is. Wow, she must be really excited but the table's turning. Although we now know that the killer is among the men, we still need to specify one person out of the 7. Is there any kind of clue to narrow down the list? Well, if Mr. Mekaru was able to work out the culprit's identity, there must be a clue pointing to the killer somewhere. The problem is, we don't know what that clue is. Tsurugi, a little help here? Like something that can nail the killer? I do have something in mind, but you shouldn't rely on me for everything. All of you should figure the case out by yourself and understand the reason behind our final verdict. Kyoka. Hey, y'all. Any ideas about the culprit? Well, nothing in particular, I suppose. We're almost there. We know that the culprit is one of the guys. Just to remind y'all, it's not me. That reaction is making you look even more suspicious. Yeah, just like you from a while ago. What? What'd you just say? Eek, I'm sorry. Was it that out of character, Kizuna? Since most of you seem to be having trouble with this, let me suggest going around. How about we all think of something else first? Such as... Don't you want to know why Kyoka died? Why Kyoka had to die? Of course we do. Kyoka was full of spirit and a nice friend to us. She didn't deserve to die. To begin with, 2 people were indirectly involved in Kyoka's death. 2 people? Are you implying that there are 2 culprits? No, I'm not saying those 2 took part in murder, but they heavily influenced the events leading up to Kyoka's death. The point is, Kyoka died as a result of someone's mistake and the culprit's misjudgment that stemmed from it. Mistake and misjudgment. I need the help of a certain someone to explain this. Yuki, could you help me out? Me? Do you remember the conversation we had in the hallway? The one over the nameplates. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, you told me then that you know who caused that change to the nameplates. I don't have the knowledge regarding this matter, so I'd like for you to provide us the context. Hello, I've got 0 ideas on what the 2 of you are talking about. Oh, okay, I'll explain it to everyone. Yesterday, while all of us were in shock after Marikuma showed us the motive, there was a minor incident that happened. The people who know about the incident are me, Haru, Satsuki, and finally, Kyoka. Huh? They don't look like they know it though. Haru, Satsuki, did you forget what happened before nighttime yesterday? With the nameplates. Oh, that? Oh, you mean the thing with Haru's triple spin? Yeah, would you mind explaining to us what happened back then? I think there's something you didn't know about it. I'll tell you when we get there. Okay. Make your argument. Last night, me, Sasuke, and Kyoka were hanging out together to distract ourselves from the motive. Then I accidentally fell down and broke the nameplates. Yeah, that is true. It was really funny to watch triple spin. When I was freaking out over damaging school property, Monokuma showed up and said, "They won't punish me since it was an accident," and left me with a new set of nameplates. He told her to put the new nameplates back where they belonged. And so Haru put them back at the right place. Oops, there you go. 10, 30. God damn it, the scoring here sucks. Why? I did it perfectly. No, Satsuki, there's something wrong with what you just said. Yo, what's wrong? Although Haru did put the nameplates back, he didn't know that he made a mistake while doing so. Yuki, that's... He forgot where the 2 nameplates originally were, so he put the new ones in the wrong place. What? He forgot about something that was right in front of him seconds ago? Oh, he went to the restroom before putting them back, so I think he got confused somewhere in the middle. Okay, I get how much of an idiot Haruhiko is. How is that related to Kyoka's murder? That would be because the 2 nameplates Haruhiko had to replace belonged to Tsurugi Kinjo and Kyoka Maki. Right, Yuki? Yeah, right. Kyoka's room was next to mine and Tsurugi's was next to hers. But because Haru thought the other way around, the nameplates on their doors were switched. Mr. Kobashikawa, was it your intent to do so? Anyway, Haru, shouldn't you already know? We talked about the nameplates being switched when we were investigating. Well, I did, but I just wanted to avoid unnecessary suspicion. Avoid suspicion? Don't tell me you're the culprit, Haruhiko. No, I'm not, I swear. This is exactly why I didn't say it. Why would we think you're suspicious? It's just a couple of nameplates. I don't think they're that much related to Kyoka's death anyway. Yes, they are. Much related, in fact. Now, would you care to explain what that means to us? I said earlier that the two people were connected to the murder. One of them is Haruhiko for switching the nameplates, and the other person is... me. Huh? Mr. Kenjo, you have an indirect connection with the murder of Miss Maki? May I ask you to elaborate on that? It's true. Let's see, where should I start? How about we all get a grasp of the culprit's intention first? If things went as the culprit originally planned, the person to have reported here would have been... me. That statement sounds somewhat far-fetched. How come you were to die instead of Kyoka? Because the nameplates were switched. You remember the torn note that Yuki read to us a while ago? I was able to comprehend what the culprit was aiming for after seeing that note. Kyoka got that note from the culprit and headed to the laundry room at the designated time. There she was assaulted and murdered by the culprit. Everyone's clear on this, right? Then let me ask, how do you think Kyoka got the note? How she got the note? Well, maybe one of us casually handed it over to her. Kyoka wouldn't have known that the person who gave the note would come after her back then. From whom? Where? How? Did any of you ever see Kyoka getting a note from someone? No, besides, there wasn't any time for that. After we got out of the audio-visuals room, Kyoka stayed with me and Sasuke until she went into her room for the night. Wait, then Kyoka got the note between 10 PM last night and her time of death, which is 6 AM this morning. Right. Kyoka went inside her room as soon as it became nighttime. She couldn't have gotten the note while talking face to face with someone. And that leaves us with only one possibility. She got the note while she was inside her room. But you can't go into someone else's room unless you got the key or the owner's permission. Yeah, but there's a way to give her the note without opening the door. What? But that'd be like magic, really. How? Are you dumb? A way to slip a note inside the room without opening the door or being seen by the owner. That should be pretty simple. Something that any clever kid could think of. Let's think about it. If I stay calm and keep brainstorming, it will come to my mind. Hangman's Gambit. Sure, why not? Hangman's Gambit, you must put together pieces of evidence that flash to your mind. The bottom square will show parts of your target word. Find the letters into place, shoot them in place. The letters will move around randomly across the screen. If there are multiple blank spaces, you must fill in the leftmost space first. Follow the just like crater, yada yada. Okay, let's do this. Oh my god, Inori is so small. Funny. G. Oh G. Come on. There you go. Yeah. $30, $30, $40. Oh, finally 100. Now that makes sense. Finally, it's fair. That's it, the gap. Not that clothes store. Even when the door is fully closed, there's a gap between the bottom of the door and the threshold. That's large enough to slip a note through. So after nighttime, the culprit left the note inside Miss Maki's room through that gap. Right, there would be no one out in the hallway after nighttime and Kyoka would still be awake. Adding a message like "Don't exit your room" to keep Monokuma from noticing would have easily dealt with the chance of Kyoka seeing the note coming in and opening the door. That way, the sender won't have to reveal himself while still getting the message across. This inequality of information between the culprit and Kyoka made her more vulnerable to deception. You know, it was pretty bold of him to do that. What if Kyoka didn't show up or brought other people with her? The note probably requested her to come alone to prevent such occurrences. Likely coupled with a reason she won't be able to ignore. From the fact it mentioned the absence of cameras, it must have been something Monokuma shouldn't know about. A way out, for instance. Would any of you refuse to go if someone offers to tell you a way to escape? Well, I'd go, yeah. True, I would have gone as well. Okay, the culprit sneaked the note into her room. I get that, but how exactly is it you and Haru's fault? Think closely. Most people here didn't know about Haruhiko switching the nameplates until it was said in the trial, or noticed it after the murder occurred. Which means at the time of the murder, the culprit was unaware of that fact either. Oh! I see. For that reason, you considered yourself and Haruhiko to be at fault. For those of you who haven't got it yet, only you, Satsuki. We're saying that the culprit killed Kyoka because of a confusion. Confusion? What? So it ties back to what Tsurugi said earlier. Yeah. Right, I think I know it now. The indirect influence Haru had over Kyoka's death. Haru switched the nameplates by mistake. The culprit slipped the note inside the room without knowing they were switched. That the culprit's intended target was actually me. No, it's Tsurugi Kinjo. That's right, the culprit never intended to murder Kyoka. The real person he wanted to kill was Tsurugi. That makes sense. The killer saw Tsurugi's nameplate on the door and left the note there, but the room was actually Kyoka's. Does that mean Tsurugi would have died if Haruhiko didn't switch the nameplates? Yeah, that's why I said Haruhiko and I indirectly caused Kyoka's death. Kyoka, it's all because I was an idiot. It's all because I was dumb enough to mix up those stupid nameplates. Calm down, Haruhiko. It's not your fault. Even if you put the nameplates correctly, Tsurugi would have been in danger. I'm a policeman. It's my duty to ensure everyone's safety. Yet I was careless enough to let Kyoka die. I should have died rather than failing in my duty like this. Please don't say that every person's life must be treated with extreme regard. That is why I cannot forgive the culprit. Not that murderers ever deserve forgiveness, but him killing one of our close friends was absolutely unforgivable. Yeah, I feel the same too. But how am I supposed to take that one of us is that cruel, cold-blooded killer? So? What do you mean by so? Can't you think now's the time to say it? You know, the identity of the culprit? The culprit? Did you just solve everything you need to? The fact that the culprit is a man, the way he hanged the body without entering the restroom, how and why he called Kyoka Maki and killed her. Isn't the culprit fairly obvious at this point? Well, while we did figure out most of the major details, I don't believe we ever brought up that matter before. Jeez, you guys still don't know? How long are you going to make me wait here? I think my legs are starting to hurt. How about you say it yourself if you know so much? Yeah, she has a point. Huh, why should I? There's people like Tsurugi Kinjo out there anyway. Tsurugi? Do you know who the culprit is? Yes, I do. Actually, I already knew who it was well before the trial started. Woohoo, that's our ultimate police. But what I thought back then was more like an educated guess. Now that I went through these discussions in the trial, I'm confident with what I got. Man, that's epic. How'd you know? I still don't have a clue. I'll try to make it easy for everyone to understand. So, let's get back to when we were talking about the hook and the rubber ball. You all know how the culprit used them, right? Of course, the culprit tied the rope to the rubber ball and set it around the pipe a few times, then threw the hook on to secure the rope, always to make it seem like it was done from the inside. The rubber ball was the decisive factor in my deduction of the culprit. Oh yeah, now I get it. Do you remember Yuki explaining earlier that the rubber ball burst because it couldn't overcome the pressure? It was probably due to the accumulated damage from the repeated collisions with the wall. And here's the question, how much pressure do you think is needed to pop a rubber ball? A lot. Well, it will depend on which kind you're talking about, but probably a lot? Yeah. Yep, I tell you something, that pops too easily will be worthless as a bouncy ball. Right, normal levels of pressure can't leave a single scratch on it, much less make it burst. But the rubber ball still burst, just by bouncing a few times off the wall. That's kinda strange. Was the rubber ball old? When I saw the rubber ball, it was still glossy and shining all over despite its condition. I dare say it was brand new. I'm not done yet, though I didn't place emphasis on this earlier. Think about it. Would it be easy to make a ball go over the pipe, through the little space between it, and the ceiling bounce off the wall and roll back towards the entrance? Especially when the culprit couldn't afford to fail even once because he was a man. I believe it would be a challenge. I don't possess the skills for it in the first place, but even if I did, I won't be able to do it because of the pressure. Fully agreed. But the culprit chose to take that challenge and succeeded nonetheless. That wasn't just a matter of guts, he had the confidence and ability to assure his success. In short, the culprit has the ability to throw a ball exactly where he wants to. It's more than the accuracy. Not only does the culprit have precise control over where to land the ball, but also the strength to burst it open. But I don't think anyone out of the guys look like they have much strength and accuracy. Judging by his muscles, maybe Kakeru does. With my daily muscle training, it would be certainly possible for me to burst a rubber ball with my strength. However, just to be clear, I cannot be the culprit. I can't even score a goal right below the basket. Then how did the killer pull off those strikes? Was he secretly the ultimate baseball player? Nah, reference to... yeah, okay. No, I think you guys are missing something. I said the culprit made the rubber ball go over the pipe, not through it. How can you make the ball go over the pipe without throwing it? Wait, I think there is a way. How do you even do that? Superpowers? Well, if you're an ultimate. No. You can kick it with your foot. Alright, rubber balls are small enough to hold with one hand, so I was naturally thinking that the culprit threw it. Huh? Hold on a sec. Kicking with your foot? I knew I had the answer when I reached that point. It seemed like some of you got there too. If what I'm thinking is right, the culprit is... But why? But why did he... I'm still not getting it. Who was it? Can somebody just tell me the answer? Yuki, you know who it is, right? Huh? Looking at your facial expression, I got the feeling that you finally reached the truth. You helped me out a lot with the hook and the nameplates, so how about you say it for us? The mastermind behind all of this. Kyoka's murderer. Yuki. Tsurugi's right. I know the culprit. I really did figure it out. There's only one person who could have done everything we talked about before. I want to convince myself that I'm wrong, but this is something I have to do. I must do this. It's you. It's not you. Oh, it'd be funny if it was. The person that came up with this plan murdered Kyoka. Mitch. It was you, right? What? Got him. Trial suspend. Oh boy. What now? Can I have a pee break? This is the part where I get... Oh yeah, awesome. Save progress data 2. I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break. Alright, I'm back. Let's resume the class trial. Oops, let's go. Did you just say, I'm the culprit? What, Mitsuhiro? Hey, hold on, how does that make me the culprit? None of the guys has the ability to throw a rubber ball exactly where it was targeted with enough power to burst it. But if you're talking about kicking a ball with that much strength and accuracy wouldn't be impossible for you, right? Especially when you're the ultimate soccer player. Mitsuru's talent was said to be almost on par with that of many professional soccer players. It makes sense for an expert like him to handle a much smaller and lighter ball with such ease. No, wrong, and wrong. Keep quiet if you're not the expert. Soccer balls and rubber balls are different. And I can't do all that even with a soccer ball. Mitch, but you did that thing in Fuji TV's Master Challenge. You were the special guest for the game where you had to dribble all kinds of balls and land it on the target. Didn't you have no problems with a rubber ball there? You even did it with a freaking pea. What? I saw that episode in the hospital. You easily scored a goal with a soccer ball. then did the same with ping pong balls, shuttlecocks, and one of those large exercise balls, I believe. You're saying you can't kick rubber balls? Try a better joke. That was all fake. It was scripted. How would that even be possible in real life? Do you think I'm a god or something? Whoa, big scandal alert. Mitch, are you really the culprit? Did you kill Kyoka? Yeah, plus wasn't he the one who said the killer would be among the girls? No, this is a trap. I know, Yuki's the culprit. He's trying to accuse me with no evidence whatsoever. Mitch, it's over. Please just say it. I don't want to do this any longer. Say what? I didn't kill anyone. And why does it have to be me? Do you have proof? Do you have any kind of evidence that I killed? Material, I doubt you would overreact like this if you aren't the culprit. And you seem able enough to perform that trick using the rubber ball that Yuki mentioned. This is ridiculous. That's pure speculation. Show me the proof. Mitch seems really messed up right now. But it's true that my argument doesn't have a solid backup. I thought of it by process of elimination, not real evidence. Still, it should be somewhere. And one piece of evidence that can nail him down as the killer. I need to point that out, or else we won't get anywhere. Okay, let me just position myself. Don't forget stretch, boys. Getting dizzy. Make your arguments. Show me the evidence. Take it easy, fella. I can easily prove myself not guilty, you know. Something, I put the note in Kyoko's room. Is there evidence that I put the note in Kyoko's room? Okay. How will you prove that I got those the antique store? But 75? Awful fucking. Wait, Mitch, something's off in your statement. What's up? I don't see anything wrong with it. I know we talked about the culprit using the hook and the rubber ball earlier, but we didn't mention where they got it from. How did you know those tools were from the antique store? What? You outed yourself because that's where most of the tools are? Yeah, I just thought the antique store was a good place for them to get it from. Personal opinion. That makes zero sense. You normally find hooks and rubber balls in the storage, not the antique store. Yeah, and doesn't the gym have loads of balls too? Got 'em. You see, you never know. Both the storage and the antique store might have those. That's why I mentioned the antique store. It looked like that place has practically everything. Mitch, we know. One of us has been keeping track of every single item in the storage in the antique store. Am I right, Teruya? Yeah, Yuki. Is this why you asked me about this? Trust me, the antique store definitely had hooks and rubber balls. I know, because I spent most of my time hanging out there. Also, I'm pretty sure there weren't any hooks or rubber balls in the storage. The ones used in the murder are from the antique store. The way those items were arranged changed after the murder. Wow, Teruya, you memorized all of that? Wow, what a freak. Shut up, it's just a coincidence and you still didn't show me proof. Show me evidence, tangible evidence, not your stupid guesses. I'm not buying it, you're doing this to the wrong person. Jeez, can't you be a man, just say you did it? Hey Mitsuhiro, will you admit it if we show you the evidence? That you're the culprit? Yeah, I'm not the culprit. If there's no evidence, you can't say I did it. Give me proof. Proof. If he insists, we should probably show him. Yuki, show him the proof you have. Huh? I have the proof? Be patient and think. You do have proof. You even showed it to us a while ago. I showed the proof to everyone? Is he talking about... I see, I didn't think about it back then, but that can certainly nail Mitch down. I've got to show him what that is. Terminate talk? Sure, why not? You must overturn your opponent's basis arguments by shooting them down. Okay, when your opponent's speech bubble appears, you can press confirm to destroy it. If not, speech bubble will eventually disappear and inflict some damage. Every speech bubble is a amount of health represented by number of objects. If you're out of ammunition, you need to replace it before shooting again. Okay, so shift reload. Bullet take damage every time. If they're out of health, it'll be good to tell that. Given a chance to deliver final blow. Combat it. Okay. Okay, let's go. So we just know that confirm shoots, shift reloads. Okay. Okay. Can't see the crosshair too much. Okay. 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 Show me the notepads Monokuma gave us. Okay. We got him. Break. I'm expecting 100. Oh, nice. Finally, a fair assessment. If you want it, I'll show you tangible evidence that can prove you guilty. Which obviously doesn't exist, you moron. It does exist. Remember when I showed you the note to explain how the culprit called Kyoka to the laundry room? The paper used for the note was from the notepad given to us by Monokuma, which means we could see if that note was from your notepad by checking if there are any torn pages in there. What? Well, Mitsuhiro, here's the evidence you've been asking for. Hey, this evidence? Are you kidding me? We got those like a week ago. Anyone could have torn out a page for who knows what. Huh, anyone could have used it? Then we could try matching Yuki's note with the torn section in your notepad. That way we'll be clear on whether it was from your notepad or not. But don't think the culprit could have used someone else's notepad. How can you be so sure it was from mine? No way, idiot. The notepads were in the drawer in our rooms. How are you going to get one without the owner's permission? And if the owner somehow gave permission, even better. That would automatically mean the person who asked for permission is the culprit. Wait, that's... Mitch, just admit it. I don't want us to. I don't want us to keep fighting each other like this. It's over then. Over? Who said it was over? Nothing's over. This is a lie. This is all a big lie. How dare you accuse a superstar like me of murder? Liar, liar. Alright, if you say so. I'll go over the case from beginning to end, then you'll accept it. That you're the only possible culprit, Mitch. Closing argument, sure. Everything relevant to the murder will be shown in the form of a comic. At the bottom you will see several. Okay, select one by choosing Z. Afterwards, press it, confirm again on the blank panel. Oh, okay. Also press X to cancel your selection. Proceed if you correctly fill in the blank. You will not be penalized for wrong answers. There's no pesky time limit too, so take all the time you need. Cool. Finally a forgiving minigame. Let's see if it's a minigame. Sure it is. Let's see. Culprit slipping the note through the gap. Culprit nervously waiting to be found out. Culprit squeezing the neck. Remember, clean up everything. Uh-oh, nameplates are switched. Let's see. This is... Select. Yeah. What's this? So they slipped the note, probably. Oh, there you are. Okay. So Kyoko went to the laundry room and like, oh my god, what? So he's like, oh well, no choice, I'm gonna kill her anyway. After getting her, wait, damn it. There you go. They clean up everything. Just ambush from the back. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. After that, cleaned up everything. And then kick the thingy. And that happened. Going through that. Oh wait, they put the rope first? No, that's not possible. Squeeze them first. Yeah. And then finally, there you go. It all started last night. While we were all in shock by Monokuma's motive, Kyoka, Haru, and Sasuke decided to hang out together to distract themselves from the stress. They ran around the hallway until Haru accidentally broke 2 of the nameplates on the wall. Those 2 nameplates belonged to Kyoka and Tsurugi. Haru was panicking over breaking school property when Monokuma showed up to give him a warning. He didn't punish Haru since it was an accident, instead ordering him to replace the broken nameplates with new ones. And here's where Haru made a crucial mistake. After a trip to the restroom, he got confused about where the 2 nameplates originally were. Cool. He finally chose to go with his gut instinct, which unfortunately turned out to be wrong. This is when Kyoka and Tsurugi's nameplates were switched around. Haru went to his room right after putting the nameplates back, and when the nighttime hallway was left empty at this very moment, someone decided against going to sleep and was out in the hallway, secretly heading somewhere. The place they were heading was Tsurugi's room. For some reason, they had chosen Tsurugi to be their target of murder. But there was something they were unaware of. Right before they came, the nameplates outside Tsurugi and Kyoka's rooms were switched by Haru. So the culprit had actually gone to Kyoka's room. Unaware of the error, the culprit made their first move. They put a note through the gap below the door. It asked to come to the laundry room at 6 AM and contained a lot of false information to make things easier for the culprit. Not everyone would be asleep right after nighttime, and it would be easy to spot a note coming in through the door. That's what the culprit was going for. The next day, as the time approached 6 o'clock, Kyoka, after reading the note, came to the laundry room as she has been instructed. The culprit was hiding in the corner of the room, looking for an opportunity to strike. Since they were expecting to see Tsurugi, Kyoka's sudden appearance would have been a surprise for them. Kyoka continued forward, oblivious of her fate. The culprit was probably confused at first, then either noticed that they somehow went to the wrong room or found Kyoka holding the note. They likely had a plan in mind, and changing the target meant they had to risk ruining everything. But there was also the potential of being found out and facing the aftermath if they let her go. And last, the culprit decided to change their target. They already had a weapon ready, and it looked like they would be discovered anyway. Meanwhile, Kyoka was wondering why no one was in the room. Still unaware of the presence of the culprit, she was left vulnerable to their attack. Da-dun! And fell victim to it. They had a pun? After the murder, the culprit wiped off the blood from the body to conceal any evidence of murder. Because it was done almost immediately afterward, Kyoka's clothes didn't get any blood on them. However, they weren't able to take care of the large blood stain on the floor, maybe because they were in a hurry or they just had failed to see it. That bloodstain played a large role in revealing Kyoka was murdered in the laundry room. I think the culprit forgot about the bloodstain while they were busy moving Kyoka's body. They must have gotten in a panic since they killed someone that wasn't part of their plan. The culprit first carried the body over to the girls' restroom. Their purpose was to take advantage of the fact that students aren't allowed to enter the restroom of the opposite sex. That's when the culprit found the pipe on the ceiling of the restroom. The culprit decided to make use of it and went to the antique store to get the needed supplies. It was less than an hour before the wake-up announcement, so they were probably in a rush. The tools they chose were a rope, a hook, and a rubber ball. The culprit first tied the rope around the rubber ball, then thought of a certain way to hide their involvement. Their idea was to tie the rope on the pipe without entering the girls' restroom using the rubber ball. Since the culprit was a man, they were unable to enter the girls' restroom. Monaco had previously announced that anyone who sets foot in the restroom of the opposite sex will be shot by the machine guns. But thanks to the fact that the restroom entrance was open with a wall straight across, the culprit was able to tie the rope to the pipe using the elasticity of the rubber ball. It was a risky move as the culprit wasn't able to step inside to correct any mistakes, and making the ball bounce right through the small gap seemed nearly impossible. But the culprit was confident they could do it. This was because, as the ultimate soccer player, they had absolute mastery over all types of balls. The rubber ball bounced across the room and right back to the entrance just as they planned. The culprit repeated this several times to make it look as if someone tied the rope by hand. And this was when another unexpected event happened. They must have failed to adjust the strength of their kicks because the rubber ball grew weaker and weaker after each bounce until it couldn't withstand the pressure and popped. This caused the liquid inside the ball to be splattered all over the restroom, becoming a key piece of evidence. The culprit would have wanted to get rid of it, but they couldn't do it without going inside the restroom. The culprit nonetheless decided to go on with their plan. After all, they succeeded in tying the rope to the pipeline, and the method they used was virtually unimaginable for a normal person. But they are the normal person. After getting the rope around the pipe, the culprit removed the ball from the rope and attached the hook instead. Then they threw the hook toward the pipe to fasten the rope on it. On the other end of the rope that was left outside the restroom was wrapped around Kyoka's neck. So how was he able to hang the body though? Because, whatever. The reason for this was to make it look like Kyoka was hanged inside the restroom. Culprit was hoping to make us think that Kyoka's murder was inside the girl's restroom and naturally was able to enter it as well. That way, men won't be considered suspects in the trial. The culprit, as a man, was trying to use this for their own favor. Everything was ready, and as the culprit was about to push Kyoka inside, they found a piece of paper in Kyoka's hand. It was the note they wrote, held tight in her hand even after her death. Having realized the note will be used against them if discovered, the culprit ripped the note out of her hand. They ripped it possibly because of rigor mortis, which made it difficult to pull it off. What the culprit didn't know was that most of the important parts of the note were still intact in the piece they left in Kyoka's hand. Thanks to the note, we found out she wasn't murdered in the restroom, which led to the conclusion that the culprit can be a man as well. After getting over the risky part, the culprit tried to get rid of the hammer and the rubber ball. But too much time had passed at this point, and it was early enough for some of us to get up. In a hurry, the culprit left their murder weapon and the burst rubber ball in the garbage dump. They would have wanted a safer option, but the time constraint gave them little time to think. They must have thought we won't find them if they put it alongside all the trash. And it kind of worked since Kakuro and I were the only ones to discover them. When we started coming out of our rooms, the culprit acted like they had just gotten up and waited for the body to be discovered. We soon noticed that Kyoka was nowhere to be seen. As we all know, we went looking around the entire building until Akane discovered the horrible state Kyoka was in. Everyone froze in shock, and while pretending to do the same, the culprit secretly hid a smile at the outcome of their plan. The person who came up with this plan and tried to deceive us all. I'm getting dizzy. Ha, red card. It was you, right? Mitsuhiro Higa. I think. Is it him? No. How was that, Mitch? Do you still have anything to say? Huh, you must have forgotten how to speak. What kind of nonsense is that? This is just purely outrageous. Sir, it's over. Please, be honest. It's pointless for us to keep attacking each other. Mr. Was it really you? Why? Why did you commit something like murder? No, it wasn't me. I'm not. It's not me. It's not me. Not me. No. It wasn't me. Whoa, this idiot is going all crazy. OMG, Mitsuhiro has totally gone wacko. Wow. Well, at least that would that's how a normal person would react. Result. Oh god. Okay. 5,000 mana coins. 67. Come on, 2 more. Asshole. At least 2 more. That would be that would make it begin ago. Up. Huh. It looks like you're done. As the headmaster, let me say your discussions were packed with passion in a fashionable way. Passion and fashion, aren't they the same? Are they different? Oh, who cares? You don't need any of those to live a good life anyway. Yeah. So let's move on to the voting time. You don't need an extra explanations, right? Pick the person that you believe is the blackened. Everyone make your choice using the switch in front of you. And one more thing, just as a reminder. Triple check that you voted for someone. If I ever see a blank ballot, you know what happens. I'm sure none of you would want to be punished for something so trivial like that. Okay then, time to get excited. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Please at least give me a save point here. At least I'm safe after the trial. Ooh, bingo! The blackened of this trial, that is, the murderer who killed Kyoka Maki, is none other than Mitsuhiro Higa. What? Hold on. Mr. Higa, did you really? Mitch, why did you kill her? Tell us. I was a big fan of yours. I like soccer too. I admire your talent as a rising star. Why did you have to? Cut it out and say something. Fine. I killed Kyoka Maki. Are you serious? Finally. Mitsuru, assuming everything we found out is true, you murdered Kyoka even though she wasn't your target. I'm not saying it was okay for you to set up a murder, but you could have quit and spared Kyoka when your plan went wrong. Why didn't you do that? Why were you so stubborn about killing someone? Kyoka did nothing to you. But... I just had to get out of here after watching that video. That video? Just as I've thought. That is the only possible answer. You mean, the motive? Monochrome had shown us that DVD just yesterday. The contest must have been different for each student, but every one of them seemed enough to drive a person toward despair. When I watched my video, I felt myself wrapped by a surge of emotion demanding me to escape here using any means possible. I even pondered the thought of murder. Mitch must have killed due to the same reason. I'm aware of how serious a crime this is. Even a million apologies won't be enough for what I did. But I had to do it. I had to get out of this place, and for that I had to murder. Mitsuhiro, you bastard! I don't know what you saw in your video, but can you even guess what's on mine? Every soccer stadium in the world being reduced to ashes, terrorists attacking FIFA headquarters, and world-class soccer players have gone missing. On top of that, my home team was also... How could such a thing be possible? I'm sorry. That's exactly like my case. Ooh, this can't be good. Seems like something has occurred to the well-being of Yuki Maeda's warm and caring family. What could have possibly happened at his house? Find out more in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. To Mitsuhiro, soccer would have been like the home where he belongs. Witnessing his own sweet home being completely destroyed would feel. Attack on FIFA HQ? Come on, you know that's utter nonsense. Right, and it doesn't only pertain to yours. All of our videos have been manipulated. You shouldn't have fallen for this trap. I couldn't stop trembling after watching my video because it was as shocking and terrifying as yours. I couldn't stop trembling after watching my video because it was as shocking and terrifying as yours. It wasn't just you. It was everyone's fight, even Kyoka's. Even though she watched the same absurd video, she was trying to overcome her shock. You asshole. I couldn't help it. Soccer is my everything. I'd even say it's more important than my life. I know murder is wrong, but I just had to see with my own eyes if that video is real, even if it meant killing another person. Let me ask you one thing. Suppose that your plan went without a hitch and you got out. What if you found that video was forged? Then what were you going to do? You heard about the class trial and the entrance ceremony, didn't you? The victory of the Blackened is equivalent to the death of everyone minus the Blackened. My point is this. By setting off your murder plan, you opted to take the lives of us 14 for your own needs. But were you aware of the full weight of your choice, or at least prepared to face the consequences? I doubt it. You know what I want to say? You're nothing more than an ignorant moron who wanted to get out of here using soccer as an excuse. Of course our videos were as shocking as yours, otherwise it won't even be a motive. If that alone was sufficient to make a person murder, all of us would have done it by now. But in reality, you were the only one to commit murder. What do you think made that difference? Could it be prioritizing your selfish desires over your so-called friends? Ray, stop it. Don't try to make this any more complicated. Are you telling me this idiot got shot by the DVD, then just went on to murder someone without even being mentally prepared? No, I won't deny that, but soccer really was my everything. Actually, it was pretty well planned out. He even managed to come up with a complex trick immediately after murdering Kyoka. Tsurugi being his initial target doesn't look like a coincidence either. You thought his talent would be an obstacle to your plan, didn't you? Bullseye, I suppose. Not you, though. You got your eyes closed. Right. From the beginning, Mitch was willing to murder, even without the motive. A malice beyond description, that's what took Kyoka's life. But, so what? Does it even matter? Monokuma was the ultimate ringleader behind all this. Monokuma is the one who drove Mitch to that point. You know what, Mitch? Right after watching the motive, Kyoka told me, Haru and Satsuki this. Murder, moveless anxiety, just push him to the side and have fun. That way we can all chill out and strengthen our bond. Kyoka probably got the same amount of shock as you, but she was trying to overcome the situation by getting everyone together. If she had a chance to talk with you yesterday, things could have been different. Why, isn't it so frightening? Who would have guessed that world-class celebrity is nothing more than a bad-tempered coward? This is why you should never judge a book by its cover. No one could have ever thought the Michiga would murder. What? What are you talking about? It's your fault, this entire situation. Mitch's murder is all your fault. How can you even say that? Now don't be so sorry. What's done is done. Don't you got a carpe diem? Oh, what's up with the attitude? If you're trying to fight me, give up. You'll probably end up hanging out with your dead friend anyway. Besides, you guys don't scare me at all. Shut up, Monokuma. I don't know where you got the balls for that, but someday I'll bring you to justice myself. Tsurugi might be an exception. Gee, look how long you guys have been holding me back. We better get started. Started on what? The punishment. What else would it be? I told you, punishment awaits the loser of the class trial. Punishment, you mean? Execution? Just give me a sec. Of course I'm guilty. I deserve death. I deserve any kind of punishment. I know I can never make up for my crime. But still, are you really gonna kill me? Sure, I killed Kyoka, but isn't this a bit different? Seriously, you're gonna take my life? I can explain. I really must have been crazy. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. I can rot in jail for the rest of my life. Just kill me. Yeah, I'll do anything you want. You can have all the money I earned from playing soccer, okay? I don't want to die. Help me. I'll do anything but dying. I'm begging you. Please don't kill me. You guys, do something. I'm gonna die for real. This is not a joke. Notwithstanding Mitch's desperate cries, everyone turned their heads away from him, including myself. What's this? Are you scared of dying? Weren't you ready for this when you became the Blackened? Above all, you disrupted order. You killed Kyoka. Whatever the laws outside may be, the rule here is simple. An eye for an eye, a death for a death. No matter what you do, you can't avoid punishment. Once you've revealed to be the Blackened, you are punished. This is an iron-bound rule. Now, save your breath and let us begin. I certainly wouldn't want my students to procrastinate. So I've prepared a special punishment for the Blackened, Mitsuhiro Higa, the ultimate soccer player. No, go away! Go away! Let's give it all we've got. It's punishment time! No! Damn, not only was he burned alive, but he also got beaten to the face, or his face was being dragged to the ground. Oh god, that hurt. Yeehaw, that's it. Yeah, the thrill, this excitement, you can now feel this at punishment time. What? Mitch is dead. It happened in an instant. Mitsuhiro Higa, who was alive and breathing merely minutes ago, now greeted us in death amid scorching flames across the screen. Despair. That was exactly what came up in our mind. Michiru committed murder. Of course he was unforgivable. But this is too harsh. We have to keep doing this? I can't. Anyone, please get me out of here. Up. If you don't want this, don't kill. None of these would happen if you simply stop caring about the outside. After all, it was Mitsuru's own selfish desire that led him to murder. You guys were the ones responsible for this. But how could we forget about the outside world? It's impossible. Monokuma, what is your intention? What do you get from committing this heinous act? Intention? Intention? What is that? Sounds too hard for me. Nobody cares anyway. You don't have to know it. Just heed my words and all will be fine. Besides, you won't understand a word even if I tell you. Not even the slightest bit about what's going on right now. It's all a waste of time, right? You son of a... Oh no, how intimidating. Oop. Well, case closed. The class trial is officially over. Everyone, rest in peace. Hey, wait. He's gone. Damn it, what are we supposed to do now? In silence, everyone kept staring at the spot where Monokuma was standing. Although the class trial was over, none of us looked eager to leave the courtroom. After losing 2 friends on a single day, and realizing escape is still far out of our reach, we couldn't help but freeze in despair. Everyone, we need to stay calm. If we lose hope here, we won't be able to accomplish anything. But my legs ain't moving after watching that execution. How are we supposed to stay calm when our friend has met such a horrible end? Friend? Who is this friend you're talking about? What? Huh? Who else can it be besides Mitsuhiro? You're calling him a friend? I don't get it. Are you calling a murderer your friend? What's wrong with you? Tsurugi, sure Mitsuru killed Kyoka and he deserved punishment, but he was still our friend for the past few days, right? Yeah, he was. Now he's only a criminal who got what he deserved for committing the worst possible crime on Earth. What's so surprising about that? You may argue that Mitsuru deserved the death penalty, but do you condone Monokuma's actions? Are you condoning Higa's murder? Yeah, Monokuma killing him was also murder. Monokuma's a criminal worthy of death too. But letting Higa live would just be as absurd. There ought to be retribution for every murder. What the? Are you saying you're glad that Mitch died? Of course, no murderer has the right to live, regardless of how many they've killed. What? Sure, Tsurugi said he despises criminals more than anything else, and that his dream is to end all crime in the world. But still, saying he's glad for someone's death even if that someone was a murderer? That's insane. Would you also say killing a murderer is acceptable? No way, if you kill a criminal, then you'd be a criminal too. However, wasn't Monokuma already a criminal to start with? When did I say I'll excuse Monokuma's actions? I'm just saying Higa got the thing he deserved. I loathe that bear scum more than anything, but there's one thing he said I can agree on. An eye for an eye, a death for a death. This is my motto as a police officer. Lunatic. Isn't it a bit problematic for a police officer to say that? Why would it be problematic? I think the real problem is with the current legal system. I'm going to work hard to change the laws in this country. No, the entire world. I'll create a world where no one can dare commit a crime. That's why I need to get out of this place. Same goes for you all. Stop thinking about the killer and strategize on how we'll fight Monokuma. I'm not supporting Mitsuhiro, but something is definitely wrong with you. Wrong? To me, the way you're acting is wrong. Don't you realize you're already approving his actions by caring about his death? Criminal or not, somebody just died. How could you act like that when a human being was murdered right in front of you? How could I? Well, criminals don't count as human beings for me. Leader? Tsurugi, what happened to you? You weren't like this. What do you mean? I was like this the entire time. I'm just giving some advice to those of you who are being overly hysterical. Of course, I am aware that I'm ultimately the one to blame. Kyoka wouldn't have died if I had been more alert. Therefore, from now on, I won't ever allow another murder to happen in this school, no matter what it takes. It's my duty to protect you all, isn't it? You... Stop. Mikako. She spoke. Everyone's exhausted. Let's go to our rooms and rest. Calm down, we can talk again tomorrow. Right, this mind-blowing incident got us all heated up. Let's cool our heads and talk again tomorrow. Fine, I don't think you can think logically in this condition either. And thus, our first class trial came to a close on the worst possible note. If it wasn't for Mikako, we might have broke into a fight. Somehow, I feel like everyone went crazy. No, I might be the one who's crazy. 2 of us died on a single day. It would be weird to not go crazy. Will we ever get out of this place? Will we ever escape this monstrous killing game? We took the elevator back to the school building and quietly dismissed ourselves. The atmosphere felt heavy, and a feeling of distress seemed to pervade everywhere, like it did on our first day. Everything that happened today already feels like memories of a distant past. Surrounded by this bizarre environment, my sense of reality was slowly fading away. The day I left home for Hope Peak Academy, a week prior to today, seemed like it was from a long time ago. I couldn't even recall how my parents looked like. Well, there's always the motive video. Watch them. My family. Yeah, see? Hyoka. The trial. Mitch. Execution. Tsurugi. My brain drifted in confusion as these thoughts kept swirling in my mind. Oh, my back. Don't forget to stretch, boys. We made it through our first class trial, the very embodiment of despair, without achieving anything. Well, you unlocked the rooms, but this was merely the beginning of despair. End of Chapter 1, Echoing Despair. Cool. Survivors remaining. How many? 13. Press any key to continue. Okay. Thank you for playing. You have reached the end of the demo. You may choose to save your progress here, which will allow you to continue from this point in future releases. Yes, I would love it. Save data 1. Turn to the title screen. So yeah, this was chapter 1 of Danganronpa Another, the trial. Fucking awesome. God, it's so awesome. How was Mitch able to hang Kyoka in the first place though, without using a lot of force, and then kicking the ball, which would then have like a few more loose ropes and shit? I don't understand, but other than that, hey, nice trial. I love it. It feels good to replay this game and have that feeling of mystery again and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.